Hello everyone and welcome to QualityOldHomm. Today we are starting a new campaign or classic game, and this is the last map we haven't tried yet, so Shamrock it will be, and Dungeon will be the faction. And this time, in the previous one we had this Might Hero, and I think this time we will try to take some Might Hero. Did I say Might or Magic? Well, Magic Hero, nonetheless. So, if I could have a Medusa hero, I think the Medusas have been rather impressive. So I think I will try an AT over here, and of course difficulty will be the hardest. Capital hold. So, basically, do we lose if we lose our capital? Not sure. And we start with defense and basic triumvirate strength. Okay, so let's start and see how we will fare. So basically 2 opponents. Okay, and we want to get some heroes. I need a hero, and so on and so forth. Okay, I think now we can have at least okay, that's nice. So perhaps 2 or 3 heroes even. And I think we will actually put you guys there to wait. And then some additional... Okay, we can't go over there. Another hero needs to do that. And let's see if we can even build something. Perhaps we might want to utilize these troops as well. So let's get going this way, and I think it's important to begin the actual resource production as soon as possible. So let's grab that. And then... Does alt show? No, it does. Okay, alt shows our kind of production per week. I don't know if there is... Okay. I was kind of thinking there is no difference between those, but there is a rather big difference. So we want to most definitely have this hero that moves a bit faster. So we can get this ore pit or ore mine. And continue. So let's see what we can build. It seems we have at least some resources. So, but I think we just don't have enough. So let's take this Byzantine Palace too. And continue. Oh, there is water. Actually, I haven't seen water in these demo maps thus far. Gem mine? Or, oh no, gem storage. To be honest, I'm not that big of a fan of those storages, because it's annoying to keep one hero collecting those resources. I mean, it's okay if there is some setting that you can kind of automatically collect the resources from those. But as it is, I don't think that's... It's kind of unnecessary micro to the game. At least that's how I feel it. Okay, blocked by those. And this is the hero we want to improve. So that's lethal. I'm not even sure if we can take anything at the moment. Or win any battle as it is. I think bank is okay. And here, let's take that extra gold per day. Some hidden gold. That was nice. Was kind of thinking that I will get 750 gold from there. Have I visited that? Not yet. Some wood, but it seems that we have pretty much explored everything we can over here. Let's not forget that one. Okay, some additional gold. But soon we need to be ready to do some fighting. In the previous playthrough as Schism, I was having trouble with having enough money. So that's the reason why I'm focusing on these money buildings or money generating buildings at the moment. Because things might get a bit difficult if I don't do that. Because we have really limited area which we can explore at the moment. So let's see if we bring more troops. Will it help us? So for treasury we would need to have walls and walls. Okay. I think we will go for that. Which means that we can't afford anything else. All of these, that's normal, difficult, but... Do we have spellbook? I think we should have, at least for the next turn. I mean, we don't really care about these. So I guess I will risk this. Okay, and of course those are rather fast. Perhaps we can... well, I'm not sure if it will even help one bit. To be honest. But yeah, we need to focus on those. And that's the way to go. Okay, troglodytes taking a beating. Oh, and they have double strike. That's annoying. Can we block them with these? Well, to some degree. Not sure if actually these hippogriffs have been, or demigriffs, griffins, have been improved. in some recent patches, because in my opinion they seem to do somewhat better at the moment. But perhaps I'm mistaken. Okay, and taking that mine. Julius, you have to take the mine this turn. That's quite important. And well, it seems that we need to consider what to take on next. We have this difficult battle, lethal, all of those. Perhaps we will take some extra troops. By the way, we are lacking probably some crystals for the treasury. So it's a good question whether or not we can actually get it. So we are generating 4,500 at the moment. And here, yeah, it's 5 crystals. So, and this is 2. So basically, we need marketplace, and then we have a choice between Minotaurs and Amphitheater. I think we will go for this in any case, at least for the moment. And you need to grab every troop. By the way, there is, I think this, yeah, we can hide these by right-clicking. And then that's normal battle, and we have quite a lot of missile units. So we should be doing relatively okay. Okay, so much for that. Okay, that did hurt. And perhaps we can retain one of those griffins. So, Balthasar's bodyguard and Silvertongue's envoy. I think as we are kind of relying on Medusas, I think we want to have that Balthasar's bodyguard. So let's go for leadership initially. And do we have any other battles we could possibly beat? There is one. Okay, some gold. I mean, this is really boxed up over here. At the moment, we really don't have that much to do, except to grow the... Perhaps my strategy for treasury first has been flawed. No, treasury. Okay, and they can't hit us quite just yet. Okay, that was nice morale in an important place. That was a bad move. There. Oh, actually, yeah, that was once again a bad call. But it does only 50% damage, so I guess that's the way to go. Okay, and I think that was somewhat better than the auto-resolve. And advanced leadership. Okay, let's take that, even though we don't know battle crafts. That's a normal battle. Can we get more troops before we go for the next normal battle? I think we could and should. Okay, that's rather important. So we shouldn't have too much trouble with that alchemical dust in this scenario. And I think we could have Labyrinth, but I think missile units will be better. So we will exchange some ore for crystals and go with that and recruit those. Grab the troops, and by the way, if we have some spells, I think we should give them to the main hero, and we should make an additional move like that. Do you have spells? No, you don't. Do you have spells? Yes, you do. So let's add that. And we are ready for the next engagement over there. And then over there, perhaps we should prioritize that easy. Lethal, impossible, difficult, lethal, normal. What about these? Impossible. On the other direction, lethal. Yes, so we just can't get out. We are like Balin and his contingent of dwarves at the moment. Okay, we could inflict 36 damage. Perhaps not exactly what we want to do. Okay, might it be that we managed to win this without any casualties? That's great. Okay, I think we want to utilize those the next week. Both of those. And we do have a turn. And that... No, 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 no. I was not... I did not want to go to this battle. Okay. That's a lot of troglodytes, and these get to a striking distance next turn. Ouch. No. And a misclick. Well, ain't this going well? Yeah, not sure about this, but perhaps we could try. This is just horrible. They certainly like to spit on us. But yeah, that was horrible. Let's take basic offense. And next target... Well, let's grab the troops we can. Well, the labyrinth. And we need you to carry those troops. Okay. So what about now? That's difficult. Okay, I think despite it being difficult, we need to do that because we need to get going. We could of course take that easy battle, but I think the time it would take would be a bit too long. So these have to wait. We just have to take that one. Because we need those resources. Oh, though, okay, long reach. Long reach, okay, that's important. So basically, they need to come to us. And great. That was a really solid combo. Perhaps I should, yeah, let them come a bit closer. So perhaps not quite as good as I was thinking. Okay, that was nice. Really nice. Perhaps I should have shot... Okay. Was that a curse? So perhaps it actually... Yeah, it didn't do that much. Okay, that's great. Advanced trim re-rates strength. Yeah, we want to take advanced. But we are not remaining on native terrain for much. Perhaps initiative. And, well, you guys have some work to do. And I just hope I didn't block. No, I didn't. Great. Do we have some enemies showing over there? Okay, you will continue just by the road. Try to collect everything. Maze of Mazes. I think we are quite interested in that. You collect these. You can find... And you do the same up here. Okay, so, oh. Let's take that. And how does it look like? 50 to 59. I don't even know what those symbols mean. Does it have some defenses? Not really sure. I think we will do these easy battles over here that we can. And try to level up a bit more. Do we have... I think we had some more easy battles. For example, over there. And while we are fighting those easy ones, I think Resource Depot is a must. And then Mage Guild is a must. But I think we should have some resources to actually do something else as well. So, let's take that. On the other hand, we are producing quite a lot of those basic resources. So not sure if that's too much of an issue, because we can always trade them for these more precious ones. Guess that's another gold mine. Okay, those are in spitting distance. So we want to take care of them. And that did not do that. Okay, that did the trick. Okay, and basic diplomacy. Difficult, difficult, difficult. Everything is so difficult. What about these over here? That's normal. So basically, we'll go and grab what we can. Basically, stilled voices. We are missing crystals. I think we will wait for one turn. We will have this mage guild, and then we will start making those Medusae there as well. Okay, we didn't get that next level. But, oh, and let's, by the way, do the exploration, because we might find some crystals over here. But, alas, that's not the case, apparently. Okay, well, that means that we need to do the trading. And did we have some things normal? No. So basically, it's going to be that battle next. Okay, would be nice, but should we? Because we do have... Now let's take... Sun's Aegis. This did have double strike. But can we... Yes, we can. Let's take last coin. That's normal, that's easy. Normal, difficult. Let's visit that first. And go and deal with those. You go and grab. Okay, that's some of the crystals we need. Okay, that's... No enemies in sight. And perhaps we should just go and try to grab, by the way, that settlement as soon as possible, because then we can begin to upgrade it to... well, I guess this is what we have to take. And while we are at it, I think... That's actually a rather good way to go. Oh, and I did forget to take some additional laws. Okay, shouldn't be too difficult. And these are, yeah, missile units. Energize. Win. Okay, that's quite an initiative they do have. And that's a nice amount of damage. It seems that the kind of gap between tier 5 and tier 6 creatures overall is really big in this game. So it's a huge improvement to get your tier 6 creatures compared to tier 5. And I think that's the case with every faction practically. Okay, so that's ours. Normal. Difficult, easy. Let's go with those easy ones first. Grab what we can. Perhaps you can come along. And you... Not sure what you are going to do. You go and visit that place over there. Perhaps. So, okay, so now we can upgrade these. And here we do have quite a lot of money at the moment. So perhaps we will go for troop production facilities and walls in that settlement. And by the way, we could have some reinforcements. Okay, that's fortunately not too bad opponent. Okay, so not so easy after all. What's their initiative? 7. These are 9, so basically if we can draw them... We can't draw them. But we can have haste. Then again we can have web. Which should mean that they are not going to shoot at or hit us in any near future. So we should have another round of shots before we need to engage in melee. Oh, wrong unit. Oops. I think that's actually a quite valuable place. Have we visited this? Yes, we have. Oh, they all are ranged. Okay. Well, let's hope they will... How much does haste increase? Okay. Well, in that case... we will be able to mitigate at least some of that damage. To the creatures we actually want to preserve. Okay, so much for our spell points. Nice. Okay, that was decent enough. We want to have expert leadership and more to initiative. Okay, let's take that. Perhaps we should actually position ourselves to bring some extra troops. So, yeah, you stay there. You head back over. Okay. Amphitheater. Yeah, let's go with that. And, well, I think I should take this as fast as possible. And I'm not sure that I will actually try to take any of these except if I have to, because then the unit testing will be so much easier. Then again, making unit tests easier doesn't really matter if I don't actually win the scenario, so a bit of double-edged sword. Safe House Warren, yeah, I think we will go for these. And then we are aiming for that, whatever palace that is. And you take all the creatures you can. Head to the stables. And you bring all of these over here. I think we are having a rather nice army at the moment already. And then we have, yeah, you are here. And still some more units over here. Oh, and a spell. No, definitely not. Okay, let's go and do this. What does this do? Hero's attack is increased. Okay. That did the trick. No. But oh, I guess yeah, that's okay enough. Okay. Okay, that's actually quite nice. But once again, I'm thinking that we actually need to start making some haste. Oh. That movement, by the way, is just bad. Mage Guild 3. We need to have some more mercury. And for that, okay, we have marketplace over there. So let's trade resources for wood. And I guess that was 3. That's required. No. Oh, wrong resource. Ah! How to make the game more difficult for yourself, but I don't care to count. Oh, and just forgot one of the heroes. Whoops. Okay, so we are starting to roll over them. I guess that should be accepted. Yeah, I guess that's fair enough. Okay, and that's where we are going. And I think you should head back to base and bring some reinforcements. And you should get over here and be ready to bring some reinforcements. You should grab what you can. And you should grab that mine. So, Cave Palace. We are missing money. Interesting. We don't want any of you. Okay, those are fast. And they hit hard. Well, not that hard actually. And I forgot the stance. Hello, dragons. Oh, by the way, can we? No, we can't. But I guess that's rather nice. Impossible and Mirage. Dragon Utopia. Alchemical lab. Okay, some really difficult battles over here. Raises practically the question, should we even bring our main hero over here? And the reason is that since we cannot beat anything over here, should we just gather everything we can and then focus on other things with the main hero, doing something that we can actually achieve? Stilled voices. And some more resources needed. Surprise, surprise. But then again, perhaps we can gain them, say, next turn. Or this turn. At least some. Difficult, impossible, lethal, normal. So we could beat those. Perhaps it's actually worth it to open up a bit more of a way onwards. Then again, this might be rather costly. So we can actually berserk those. Okay, that's as good as berserk was, according to my memory. That was actually a stupid move. And there they come. Ouch time. Okay. We're doing quite nicely, to be honest. And you cannot spit on them. Okay, another level, but I think it's... Okay. So... time to head back. And in here... well, I think we can begin to make those upgrades. We do have that one place so near that we can utilize that. And you go and grab everything over there. You proceed further here. Okay, there is a town. Could... I think we want to amass a proper army before we come back over here. I mean, perhaps we could take that town already, but... Town gate, okay. That's actually rather useful. Could we take control of that? That's difficult battle, but I think we could do that. So that's the way. And this is a turn. Some additional laws. Lethal. Difficult. But we can't afford difficult battles at this point. So you need to go over there. You start collecting these. You continue to collect everything over here. And you do the same over here. Okay. And can we actually build something? Safe house. Perhaps we are more interested in this. Because of the missile units. And here, chthonic home, most definitely. And by the way, I think we could help ourselves a bit by recruiting what we can and bringing the reinforcements over there. Let's see if that will help us enough. Okay. Yeah, we want to flee. Okay. So can we beat it? 7, 10, 9, 7. We have better hero. Do we have better army? I think we do, especially with these reinforcements. So we want to knock back at least the enemy. Even if we are not able to knock them out completely. But I think that will help us well. So it's time to engage. I think that might be their main hero. Ouch. Okay. And I think we want to take the attack stance. You go and draw some of them out. You start firing these. Unfortunately, only one shot. And haste to you. And we want to hit... Okay, those are still coming. Oh, that did hurt. Okay, but I think this will hurt them a bit more. was nice. Let's deal with these. So we can get shot going. Okay, and hopefully that will do the trick. And did we get this advanced offense? Okay, that's nice. And we did get some nice loot. That's still difficult. So I think we could beat them. Defense. Despair, yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So I think we are off next turn. And you head back over there. You continue to grab everything you can. We do have enemies over here, so it's imperative to try to take as much as possible before they can get their sticky fingers on them. And here... Labyrinth, yeah, it costs... Well, let's go with the safe house. Then, and here... We want to go for that cave palace this week. One possibility would be to try to push. Okay. Not looking exactly very good. Tier 5, okay, fortunately, rapid assault, okay, no counterattack, apex predator. So Hydras might be somewhat in trouble. They certainly do hit each other at least rather hard. Could we... Okay, we can't wait. And they do have high initiative, so basically they will come to us straight away. Could we... Okay, great. The bad thing is that now this kind of provides help for the enemies as well. I think we want to get here. Okay, and do we get some ability points? Currently 3 skills. So basically we have some shots. 4 more of them. And let's see about those upgrades. Jasper Dancer. Are these ranged attack? So basically initiative, yeah. And here I think we want to have these toxic ones. And for these, I think, well, I think we will have those Guile infiltrators. And it's time to rest 1 turn to upgrade our, or get more of our spell points back. And here, let's have some more law points. Let's improve the diplomacy. I should really be quitting, but I want to just have 1 additional turn. Okay, another one. I think the AI hero came from that direction. So actually gaining control of this middle of the map and preventing enemies from getting, for example, those Dragonotopias should be rather crucial for us. So, let's have a turn. Okay, and you get back over there, organize the defense, and here I think we have done pretty much what we can, except take the battle to these. Yeah, we don't need you. Perhaps we could take some knowledge. Okay, not really difficult. Well, I guess that's acceptable. Okay, now the question is it over here or is it over here? I think we are not quite yet ready to go to the middle. So this direction it is then. And before I forget, I think some buildings are in order. And now we could really upgrade these. Well, especially this and that cave palace. But yeah, I think that's actually everything for today. So thank you very much for watching. If you like the content, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to post comments, give advice, ask questions and so on. Have a great rest of the day. QualityOldHomm out.